Alright shooter fans, if you like regenerating health, exotic weapons, and fast-paced missions, you'd better look elsewhere. Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising is a tactical military shooter that puts you and your squad of Marines on the front lines of a combat operation. That means that an enemy that is 100 yards away is dangerously close. That means pulling out an anti-tank weapon takes deliberate effort as you pull it off your back, set it on the ground, take out the ammunition, etc., etc. And it means helicopters are really tricky to maneuver. This focus on realism means the action is tense, and success requires a methodical pace. While this may be off-putting to some folks, those who spend time to carefully complete the long missions will feel a deep sense of satisfaction, not to mention relief. Pride in a job well done and the thrill of an enemy well sniped are some of Dragon Rising's greatest highs, though the game is not without its lows. The friendly AI is not particularly good, and it can be tough to find ways to effectively use these semi-functional fellows. Fortunately, you can replace them with 3 human teammates in online cooperative play, or put them to better use in the large-scale competitive multiplayer. Despite the AI problems and other sundry issues, Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising provides enough engaging and exciting action to satisfy tactically inclined shooter fans who are looking for a tough fight. The campaign takes place on a fictional island off the coast of Russia that has been occupied by the Chinese. The stylish intro details the situation that led to your insertion there, and from then on there are no more cutscenes, just briefings, missions, and debriefings. Though there are only 11 missions in the campaign, each one can take over a half an hour to complete, and includes multiple objectives across a wide swath of land. Missions take place at all hours, and your objectives and weapon loadouts are varied, so there's a good amount of diversity over the course of the substantial campaign. Though the objectives of each mission don't change with multiple playthroughs, the way the action plays out can differ drastically. Depending on your route and your effectiveness, the enemy may maneuver differently or use different weapons, employ different tactics. Likewise, your allies' actions will vary. Since you'll probably die a fair amount, you'll see these changes in action, and it makes the game more dynamic. For the most part, this is a good thing. It keeps the action fresh and tense not to know exactly what your enemies will do. On the other hand, you can sometimes get yourself into a bad situation where it's nearly impossible to succeed or survive.
Saber 2, this is Saber. Trident is reporting multiple light vehicles moving down the MSR from the north. LZ must be clear before Trident can extract. Copy my last, over.
Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising is not an easy game, and though there are different difficulty levels, ramping up the difficulty doesn't actually make your opponents tougher. Instead, it removes HUD assist elements, like the icons that show your teammates' health, or the compass that indicates where sighted enemies are positioned. Harder difficulties also lessen the frequency of checkpoints, and when you play on hardcore, one bullet can erase 45 minutes of progress. Again, though this realism is not without its frustrations, it makes victory taste that much sweeter. You'll also encounter frustration when dealing with your squad mates. You play the leader of a 4-man fire team and can issue a host of commands to your teammates. Movement, formations, offensive and defensive maneuvers, all are possible, but not all are helpful. Since the majority of your encounters take place at long range, you usually just have to have your team follow you. They'll spot and shoot at targets, but they aren't that great at finding their own cover. There's no quick take cover command, and your exposed allies will complain loudly if they get shot. Enemy AI is similarly handicapped, and you can often catch them positioned poorly. Just don't be surprised if, as you're picking off one of these foes, your squad mate walks right in front of your gun. Apparently, friendly muzzle flashes don't bother them too much. Though playing online co-op isn't a guarantee that your teammates won't do stupid things, you can at least tell them what they're doing wrong. Up to 4 players can play every mission in the game, including some bonus standalone encounters that are much shorter and better suited for quick play sessions. There are also 2 competitive modes that up to 8 players can engage in, which are essentially Team Deathmatch and Destroy the Objective. In Team Deathmatch, each side can have up to 4 players, and each of those players can have their own squad that is filled out with AI bots. Bot intelligence suffers the same kind of issues as it does in the campaign, but with more human squad leaders and the possibility for more intense firefights, Team Deathmatch ends up providing a better forum to maximize your command abilities. In the other competitive mode, a smaller, better armed force must destroy an objective guarded by a larger force. This strategic wrinkle makes this mode substantially different and forces players to be more tactical. Competitive multiplayer tends to be more fast-paced in the campaign, and the 2 modes are each engaging in their own ways. Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising looks good, and the array of weapons and vehicles available is pretty impressive. Some vehicles are easier to drive than others, and relying on AI drivers is a risky proposition. Still, the vehicles and weapons add some solid diversity to the action, making Dragon Rising feel like a fleshed-out combat operation. While the game makes some missteps and the AI leaves something to be desired, these issues don't undermine its fundamental success. Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising delivers a lengthy campaign and solid multiplayer action, creating a tough yet engaging tactical action experience.